Hi, everybody. My name is Barbara Mayerson from joyandsuccess.com, and today I have the pleasure of introducing and interviewing Dr. Ming Chee. She is the Money Alchemist, and instead of my really going and talking about what that is, because I'm not sure myself, I will ask her to talk about it and give you a brief synopsis of her life, and we'll get started from there. So welcome. Hi, Ming. How are you today?
Hi, Barbara. Thanks for having me. This will be fun. So I got the name The Money Alchemist from a group that I was running on Facebook for a while. And I coached probably almost 200 people during one summer. And one of my coaches at the time said, Ming, you better figure out what you're doing because it's not coaching. And I thought, I wonder what it is then. And so I asked everybody, and they said, what you're doing is alchemy. And alchemy, the word itself, means transformation of matter.
Wow.
So money is what I like to play with, and the energy of money. And so therefore, the Money Alchemist, that's how I got the name of the website and what I call myself. So as we know, alchemy is transformation. And when we understand that money is energy, then what I do is I help people transform, the energy of money.
Wow, that's really interesting because I don't think most people have no idea that money is energy. And, it's just like hard facts of cash and that's about it. So having it being energy, that you got into that and teaching people that it is energy and how to work with it. That's really fascinating. So that answers my first question. What does money alchemy mean? Like, you would just answer that. And why do you think people block abundance and block money?
Yeah, you zoomed out. I mean, you faded a little bit there.
I did. Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. So why do you think people block abundance?
You know what it is? The biggest thing, based on my own experience, is because of fear. My own story, if you want all the details, it's in my book, Money Blues to Blue Money. But what had happened to me back in 2012 is my marriage fell apart. My husband just literally left, and I was left alone with a $4,000 mortgage and all the bills and everything. And I knew enough back then that money is energy. And I knew that I needed to keep my vibration as high as possible, or I was just going to go down that rabbit hole. And that by looking at money, that it is energy. Actually, we know that everything is energy. So, right, the computer is energy. What we eat is energy. The nature is energy. So why not money? Money is energy as well. So once I started studying, how money works and how, money is energy, I kept my vibration as high as possible, even during that time. And I started seeing how I could shift my relationship with money. And that's when my life started changing. So, in studying money, it's interesting because people are afraid of money. Some people are. And some people don't like money. And you say, well, of course people like money. But I've interviewed and talked to a lot of clients and people are afraid of money. I met this woman who was afraid of 5 cents. And you would think, well, that's kind of weird. But you know what? It was based something in her upbringing. And as I kept speaking with her, she started getting more and more comfortable. But you know what? It takes practice. People think, oh, okay, well, if you dropped the lottery on me, I would receive it, right? You would think, right? But you've seen the studies with lottery winners and how many of them, they lose the money that came in because it's a vibration, it's energy, right? So they're not able to actually receive that amount of money. And I think vibrationally, I think that's why a lot of people actually don't win the lottery.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I've just been noticing within myself being afraid of money. I'm a big tapper. I don't know if you tap, and I love tapping, but like coming across people of the tapping world, I'm afraid to have money.
Yeah.
And I always thought, well, of course I want money to come in. I've got debt. I need to pay my bills. But then I'm realizing I think I'm more comfortable having debt than actually paying it off. And when that really hit me, and then so now I'm tapping on that, and I'm like, well, why? I don't understand it, but I know enough to know that I have to clear this out. And but it's really interesting that I think a lot of people who swear up and down they want money, they have to pay their bills, and they don't,
Right.
but they're really pushing it away because they're afraid to have it. And you know, can you explain
Right.
if they think you think they're afraid of having it?
Yeah, they're afraid of having it, and a lot of it has to do with receiving. So a lot of the things that comes with learning about money is receiving money. People think that they can receive it, and it's interesting. So I had a client once who she lost her job. She got, wasn't a demotion, but it was like the money, her salary changed, right? So she was all of a sudden in dire straits, and her parents came over and wanted to bring food for her fur babies. And she was like, no, mom, you don't, I'm a grown woman. You shouldn't be sending me stuff. And I told her, I said, you know what? It's time for you to receive. And she says, but Ming, I'm an adult. And I said, yeah, I know. When I was in trouble, I was an adult too. But it takes sometimes when we're in a position, we need to receive. We need to receive from the people that want to help us.
You think it's like not only receiving money but receiving everything? That they have a hard time receiving anything in general?
Yes, but especially money.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially money. And that was even something that I learned when um, when I was still in that whole situation. My youngest brother said to me, you should throw yourself a birthday party. And I was like, what? And he goes, it will show you receiving skills.
Wow.
And I thought, huh. And that night I cried, not because of, joy. I cried because of fear. And I thought to myself, well, who would come to my party, first of all? And I was trying to name, my sister-in-law, and then my brother and my best friend. But what was interesting is that party that I had that year, it changed everything. I swear, maybe we had 30 people come, and it wasn't just the gifts. It was great. But my brother started saying, you know, this is what I appreciate about you. And he started it, and they went around the room. I was in tears. And talk about receiving, right?
Mhm.
That was a huge, huge receiving. And after that, it became so much easier for me to receive. And that's part of abundance, because money is abundance. What I like to teach people is that money and abundance are the same thing. People think sometimes it's easier for somebody to receive a gift. Sometimes it's not. I watched a lot of people, and you'd be surprised at how they don't want to receive. It's easier to give, but part of the receiving of the abundance is to actually receive, you know?
Is that like part? I mean, they always say it's better to give than to receive, but that
Yeah.
you have to have a receiving on the other end.
Right.
And I know, like for me too, like receiving, like or even asking for help. It's like
Right.
I I can do it myself. I don't need to ask anyone. Or I know if
Right.
I have to take my car someplace, I'll take a cab home. I won't ask anyone to pick me up.
Right.
And but that's all part of the same thing is opening up your heart gets to
Right.
receiving everything. Compliments. I know people, you say
Absolutely.
you look great. Oh no, no, no. First,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right. That's all part of receiving. And as we keep getting used to receiving compliments, receiving gifts, receiving whatever, that's all abundance, right? And that helps us receive money, because money is energy. So money gets attracted, right? Like attracts like.
Mhm.
So that's how we can attract money. It's the same thing. When you start practicing the receiving with people, you can start practicing with money.
Mhm. Mhm. So I guess like that's really where it starts by being able to receive my phone language. but being able to receive. And I think maybe instead of, and I think I'm finding that too now that I'm realizing that I have blocks of money coming in. Like instead of like trying to get money on all these things, I want to make $1,000 a week or whatever, just focusing on the receiving. And
Right.
it's not about money, but money will come in through the back door.
Right. Absolutely. In fact, that's exactly when I talk about blue money, money coming out of the blue. I remember when I first learned to manifest money like that, a copper pipe burst in front of my house, water's going everywhere. And that was day one of me practicing. And I thought, well, and I told my coach, I said, what's that about? And she said, money's going to go out the front door, come around, and tell you what happened, because long story short, that actually turned out to be a blessing, because that pipe was not up to standard. And I didn't know at the time that I was going to be selling my house. So down the road. So that's what I mean. It's like that's why I believe that, everything.
You're blocked right now. There we go. Can you hear me again?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So with your blue money, which is a lot of fun. I played it when you first were talking about doing it in December. My friend and I started doing it together, and
Oh, good.
we were like texting each other back and forth. I get $2 off at the supermarket, and I got
Yes.
and thinking like, is this blue money? And we kept on thinking like, is this blue money? Is this blue money? And explain what is blue money, because a lot of the time, like when I gave you an example that I got out of a parking ticket the other day because the meter.
Right.
Is that blue money?
Yes.
Yes. So
yes.
What are examples of blue money like that? Something like that, or?
Yes, absolutely. So blue money is just, I coined that term because it's just money literally coming out of the blue. And the reason it's so important to play this game is that it teaches you that abundance is everywhere, because you don't realize that it's everywhere until you start having the eyes to see it. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my gosh. So like, for example, I got the best neighbors. My one neighbor, she loves to bring me, dinner. That's blue money. That's dinner.
Yeah.
My other neighbor brought me over a bottle of wine. That's blue money. Let's just, so gifts are gifts, of course. And even if you were to go to Costco and it just so happened that whatever it is that you wanted to buy, like maybe a refrigerator or something, it would be, $500 off. That's blue money.
Yeah.
So what you do is, that's how I play the $1,000 in 10 days. So that's the name of the game. If you want to play $1,000 in 10 days. So you say day one, and then what you do is you add up all the blue money that comes in. And then at the 10th day, you add it all up, but you don't subtract, and you don't count your paycheck. You don't count something that's automatically coming in, but you would count, let's just say your boss decided to give you a $1,000 bonus. Mm-hmm. And what was interesting is when I played with a whole group of people, it sometimes, nothing happened on day one, day two, nothing, day three, nothing. We had one woman who it was day 8, day 5 or something, boom, all $1,000 came at once.
Wow.
So she didn't tell us. She said she was looking at everybody and how everybody was manifesting, dimes on the street, or money here, money there, or checks or whatever. And she said just nothing, but she didn't complain. She just kept watching and kept looking. And then it all came at once, before even the end of 10 days. And then you just keep playing, and then everything else is just gravy. So the first time I did it, and I needed money when I was doing this. It wasn't that I needed money to pay for my mortgage, but I kept telling my brain, this is just a game. This is just a game. This is not anything, important. And so when you keep things loose and light, and you keep the anxiety and the fear, because all of those are low vibration feelings, you keep those, at bay, and then you're just playing a game. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, it worked. And I thought, I'm going to do this again. And I did it again, and I did it again, And at one point I got 5,000. One time I made 8,000. One time it was 22,000. Sometimes it's $800, but still 800. It's like, right?
Hey, that's good. I mean, like I was thinking, like sometimes for me, like it's not that big money. Although I ended up did get some big money recently, but aside from that, it's the little things. It's like something at the supermarket that's off a couple of dollars, or with the parking ticket, or I don't have to. I'm not paying a lot of money for my tax bill this year, and that's expenses that I don't have to pay. It's considered, I guess, considered blue money too, right?
Yes.
Even though it's not actual dollars in my hand, but it's not dollars that are going out.
Right.
Right.
And this is the thing. I just did a podcast called, I think, well, I haven't released it, but it's called Blue Money Turns Green. Because when you keep playing with the blue money and it keeps coming in, it turns into actual dollars. It's not just, but you know what? If it comes in as coupons, if it comes in, so bartering, right? That's energy, that's money. If that's probably how we did things way back when anyways, bartering before money came in, right? Because money is energy. It's just, otherwise it's just a piece of paper, so, but we put value onto that money exchange. That's why it's energy.
Right. And I guess, yeah, it's the way that we feel about it. And and like you said, like doing it loose and light, like, I know, like with my friend, even though we were having fun with it, it's like, well, nothing's coming in, and $2 at the supermarket. We didn't get too excited. Instead of just saying, let's get excited about it, let's be happy about it, and just keep on going. And
Right.
and I think that's the key. Everything in self development, I find persistence, 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 and the good thing comes in, and just being really excited about it. Well, it certainly was fun for me, and I'm sure everybody else who's playing it is fun, and having good
Yeah.
times with it. And just realizing that, yeah, abundance is everywhere. Money it's everywhere. And I think just changing one person, one thing at a time,
Right.
and getting people, because I know so many people, I can't afford it, and they're so negative about it. And I just, instead of trying to change their minds, I just try to tune them out and not listen to what they're saying, and just keep on
Yeah.
the journey. Well, you've been amazing, and I want you to talk about your book and then your coaching.
Yeah.
So what's your book?
So Money Blues to Blue Money.
Oh, okay, it's great.
And there's a sequel to this book, actually, also, The Equation of Money. But the Money Blues to Blue Money has a lot of, well, it was my own experience, what I went through, what I learned, and how affirmations helped me, and I have all different other things in there that I talk about how our relationship to money, and how money is like our best friend. So if you look at money like a relationship, like I thought about my best friend, and what does she do, for me? Well, she doesn't judge me. She loves me. She always has my back, right? She gives me gifts. We have fun. We laugh. She's happy to see me. Money is the same way. When you start looking at money like that, because money is energy, money's like, oh, she likes money. Okay, let's send her some more. I mean, I've received like random checks in the mail.
Wow.
People will send me money through PayPal because of an Instagram post or
Really?
Facebook post. I mean, money just, because I like money, so money just comes from everywhere. You know what I mean? So when you have that, like if you something that you like, why not?
Yeah.
It's like when you want to manifest a car, right? Let's say I want to have a black BMW. What happens when you get on the freeway? What do you see? You see black Beamers everywhere, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is not real. So once you make the decision, your brain starts looking for it. And that's why you start seeing them everywhere.
Well, that's amazing. I think, as much as I was having fun playing the game, I'm going to play it even more now. And more,
Good.
And how can people get your book? Is it
So,
or?
yeah, so you can get it on Amazon. You can get paperback. You can get Kindle. You can get Audible. If you want just the PDF, you can go to the website, and the website is themoneyalchemist.com. And we have a private Facebook group, so anybody that's on Facebook can join Manifest Blue Money. And that's where, oh my gosh, I love reading people's posts, because people will post all these amazing ways that blue money comes in for them, like royalty checks, or somebody paid their gas bill and they don't know who, or that literally random, checks and money and gifts, and it's so cool. It's really, really cool. I got just the other day, I signed up for a conference in June, and they wrote me and said, oh, we just credited your credit card $100. I'm like, okay. And then a week later, they wrote me and said, we just credited your account $190. So I thought, oh, so they meant 190 that, before. No, they added 190. So that's 290.
Wow.
See, that's $290. That's blue money, because when I paid for the conference, that my money was gone, right? I expected it. But then all of a sudden it started coming back. So that's what I'm saying. You just never know. And it's fun to tally it, because as you tally it and it keeps growing and growing and growing, and you see the numbers getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you have this visceral response. You start to get excited, right? And then you get joyful. So what does that do? Brings more.
Brings in more. And I think one of the things that I realized in your Facebook group when I was doing it, you have to get excited for everybody else.
Yes.
You just say, oh, that's fabulous that she got $290 off, and just really be happy for other people. And know, like you mentioned, what you going downstream, I forgot exactly what
we call it driftwood.
Driftwood. So if it's that close to you, it's
yes. So when you celebrate somebody else's success, you look at it as driftwood. You don't look at it as you're jealous and you're thinking, oh man, how come that didn't come to me, right? But if you look at it as, oh, that means it's just much closer. It's so much closer to me. Like, for example, I remember I needed $800 for the LLC, because that's how much it costs in California. And I told my best friend, I said, I need $800 for the LLC. And she manifested exactly $800.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm the one, universe. I'm the one that needed the 800, not her.
Right.
And I was just like, okay. So then I realized, all right, don't complain. Okay, that means it's coming to me. You know what happened is Wells Fargo sent me $800 exactly by mistake. Let me tell you, I grabbed that money out so fast before they could take it back, and I paid for the LLC. Now, of course, later on I had to pay it back. But for at that moment, right?
Right.
It came in, manifested. So I'm just saying, you just never know. So yeah, in my book, I have all these different examples of how money came to me, but definitely anybody that's on Facebook and wants to join our group, please do, because those are actually live, examples that are coming in. And it's not just for me. I love reading everybody's amazing, collection of blue money. And it's safe. It's a private group. It's not public. So
that's great. And aside from, and it keeps your vibration high, and especially
yes,
well, this has been amazing, Ming. I am so glad that we connected, and I have you talking to you about all of this stuff. And I know your people are gonna love it. My people are gonna love it, and it's just gonna be an amazing. Spread the word out, and get the word out more about money. And I just want to thank you so much about being here.
Yes.
And let's see.